I think what's interesting is looking at these comp store sales beats. Certain ones are driven by traffic. So TJ in their press release said, we're getting more people into the stores, we're selling more units. Certain are driven by price increases. There's fewer things on the shelves, it allows people to sell more, right? That sweater can go for a higher price. We think there's a distinction there, but yeah, across the board, retail is doing well.
Ike, do you have a bone to pick with TJ Maxx? It looked pretty strong across the board from home goods to international, Canada, Marshalls.
Yeah, no, I think this is one of the best quarters they put up in a long time. I think if you look last year in 2017, off-price had a good year. TJ, Marmaxx, kind of choppy. Missed a couple quarters of bad results. This is the best comp they put up since 2012. Margins are good, their Marmaxx division was great, and then across the board, home goods, Canada, international, all good. So I got to give them credit. This is a great start to 2018 for them.
So you're going to change your call on the stock?
Look, I think the stock's had a great run. I think it's good to see a fundamental inflection in their business, but I don't think this is that different than what we're seeing across the space. We've seen 9 months of improving trends in retail, and I think TJ has continued to outperform. Department stores are doing better. Off-price is doing even better than that.
What's the big picture takeaway, Simeon, in terms of, is it just we're in this period where the consumer's relatively flush, the companies have kind of gotten a little more lean, or is it something structural that has gotten better for brick and mortar?
So we think cyclical is a word that gets attached to retail a lot. We think retail is structurally cyclical. How about that? So at the end of the day, for years after the recession, it was just a story of who's promoting more. It was I go 20, you go 30 off. I go 40 off, you go 50 off. They came, right, they had a come to Jesus moment in 2016. And across the board, they said, we need to bring inventories down. And when they did that, everyone across the board benefited. They were able to take better price. I think at some point, now we're 2 years into that, if you look at that off price, what's interesting is TJ Ross, if we look at that group, their inventories have been ballooning. And normally that's a bad thing. We think that's good for them. We think that gives them a lot of supply. And at the end of the day, we also question what that's going to do to the retail environment and their ability to take that price if there's more off-price product on the floors.
What happened to the decline of the mall? And Amazon eating everything?
Well, so Amazon's still eating and TJ's off mall.
Right.
I think it's also interesting that the improvement you're seeing in retail is happening simultaneously with Amazon's domestic GMV growth accelerating, remaining at these robust levels. It kind of shows you that we can kind of have a world where we coexist, where Amazon kind of does their thing and retail kind of chugs along.
If the consumer is particularly strong, which it is, which they are right now, correct?
So deflation and inflation are going to be interesting because at some point clothing is a staple, right? It's a discretionary, but it's a staple. We all have to be clothed, hopefully. So what that means is if there's a lot of product and prices come down, it's more stably. If there's less product and prices go up, it becomes more discretionary. Right now, it feels like we're more on that discretionary edge.